Hey everyone, welcome back to Smart Money Moves Fresh Minds. I'm Joe. Hope you enjoyed the retirement readiness checklist, and let's dive into our next episode.
And I'm Wesley. Today's episode is about one of the most overlooked, underappreciated, and let's be honest, underpaid roles in any household, the stay-at-home mom.
That's right. Moms who stay at home are managing more than just kids. They're managing logistics, schedules, emotional health, meals, laundry, cleaning, and about 37 other roles on a rotating basis. And yet there's no paycheck, no retirement match, no paid time off. But if she were doing it, you would have to pay someone else, probably multiple people to take over.
Let's look at the economic value of a stay-at-home parent. Let's put this into numbers. According to salary.com, the market value of a stay-at-home parent based on time and task coverage is around $184,000 per year. And that number climbs with the number of children and the complexity of each household. And I think we can all agree that $184,000 is not a small number.
She's not just a caregiver. She's a chef, an accountant, a driver, a project manager, a conflict resolution specialist, a nurse, a teacher, you name it.
The fact that the role doesn't get a paycheck leads a lot of families and even the stay-at-home parents themselves to undervalue what's being contributed. And that mindset can lead to some pretty risky oversights in the financial planning process.
That's where we come in, building a financial system around one income. Let's talk structure. If you're running a one-income household, your margin for error is smaller, so having a clear financial system in place is key.
And it really starts with a solid budget, one that accounts for both fixed and flexible spending and includes saving for the unexpected. The emergency fund becomes your best friend in this setup.
And don't forget retirement. Even if one spouse isn't earning a paycheck, they can still contribute to a spousal IRA. This keeps both people on track for long-term wealth building.
Let's think of it like this. You wouldn't leave your car uninsured just because it's not on the road every day. You protect it because it's valuable, and the same goes to your spouse staying at home.
Now let's look at insurance and estate planning. One of the common things that people overlook. One of the biggest mistakes you see is families carrying life insurance on the working spouse, but not on the stay-at-home parent.
If something were to happen to that parent, the cost of replacing all those services, childcare, transportation, home management, can really be overwhelming. Life insurance helps protect the family's lifestyle in a worst-case scenario.
We always recommend both spouses to have an estate plan, updated wills, named guardians for the kids, power of attorney. Just because one spouse isn't earning doesn't mean their financial voice doesn't matter.
It's about respect and protection. Your plan should reflect the contributions of both parents. And here, we're talking about ensuring that $184,000 cost of replacing the stay-at-home parent.
Now let's look at a hypothetical story. Meet Sarah and Mark. Mark's a senior engineer, and Sarah stays at home with their two kids. Mark's job pays well, but they never really built a formal plan.
Mark thinks they're okay. They've got income. The bills are paid. But when Sarah suddenly needs surgery and is out of commission for a few months, their household turns upside down.
Mark scrambles to get the kids to school, meals prepped, the house managed, and still keeps up with work. He ends up paying for childcare, takeout, and even some PTO just to juggle it all.
And it's a wake-up call. They had no emergency fund, no disability insurance, and no structure. So now they're dipping into savings and falling behind on goals, all because they hadn't planned around the value of Sarah's role as a stay-at-home mother.
That's why we talk about this. You don't need to predict emergencies. You just need to build a framework that protects the whole team.
There's also a deeper conversation here, one about how we define value. Our culture tends to reward money earned, not effort given. But in a healthy household, those types of contributions are essential.
We want to challenge couples and families to think of finances as a team sport. Just because one person isn't bringing home a paycheck doesn't mean they're not building wealth. They're just doing it through a different lens.
And when both people are included in the planning process, the outcome is much certainly better. There's more clarity, more alignment, and more respect for what each person brings to the table.
So here's the bottom line. Stay-at-home moms are doing some of the most valuable work in the world, if not the most valuable. And they deserve to be financially recognized, protected, and planned around.
Our question to you is, have you accounted for the value of the work happening at home? If not, we'd love to help. Reach out to us at Black Diamond Financial Solutions, and let's make sure your plan honors every contribution, seen and unseen.
Thanks for spending some time with us on Smart Money Moves Fresh Minds. Share this episode with a family you care about, and we'll see you next time.